did this start for you?
I'm Justin Feinman, one of the co-directors and the editor and one of the producers. I actually have Sean Small couldn't make it here tonight, so he sent me something he'd like me to read. He said the reason this project took about a decade to finally make.
Wow.
He said the reason why it took a decade to make was because I wrote this as I was unraveling what I'd gone through in my life, as my dad had left my life due to drug addiction and alcoholism at such a young age. The script really externalized what I was feeling, and I wanted to show what that breaking of addiction and trauma started to look like at the end of the film. I knew I wanted to act in the film, but it took me years to not be so scared to actually pull the trigger. I was still terrified, but I thought if this could help at least one other person, it would be worth it.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, Sean wrote it, we co-directed it, he starred in it, and it was very personal to him.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we came together. We've been friends for a long time, and so I agreed to help him, make it.
Yeah, and so what was your co-directing relationship like?
Sure. Yeah.
How did you share responsibility?
Yeah, we there wasn't like a specific set of like you take on this, you take on that. But we did talk about kind of the who has full ownership of it at the end of the day, and
Mm-hmm.
it was kind of it was like he had 51%, I had 49%.
I see.
So
Okay.
like final word, if it really was bumping for him, then we'd go with what he says.
I see.
And but in terms of coming up with the visuals, it would just be a lot of conversations, and I storyboarded everything out, and we went through the shot list together with our DP. So it was just conversation after conversation, and sending each other clips of movies and shows that we were like, oh, this is really interesting, this is really inspiring.
Okay, can you think of any of the movies or shows that were shared?
Yeah, so a big inspiration for this was the movie Waves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a A24 film. Incredible movie. He showed it to me and was like, that was our primary inspiration for the party scene, especially.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
But just kind of going through high school and the party scene, and the drugs and alcohol and everything that comes with it was. We took a lot of inspiration from Waves.
Okay, and so the character finds freedom through expressing himself with writing. Do you find any freedom in expressing yourself in film?
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I think I personally don't think there's any. I think there's no such thing as an original idea. I think everything is inspired by something else. That's what we do, is we steal images and we steal moments. And I think that was, to address your question, like in terms of the freedom of it, it's once you kind of accept that, I feel like you're free to not be like, oh, well, this is too much like this is too much like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you can kind of just express yourself through the visuals.
Yeah, and related to the visuals, I thought the visuals did a great job of visually mirroring the character physically. I'm thinking of like the anxiety that he feels in the car. And as you walk through the party with him, were those some of your ideas, or was it DP's ideas, or I guess you edited as well? Mm-hmm. So how did those come to be?
Sorry, for what specifically?
Some of the stylistic flares that you had, or is that something that the two of you guys as co-directors came up with together?
Yeah, I mean, I think visually we wanted to be in his head as much as possible.
Uh-huh.
And something that Sean had come up with was this idea of he never leaves the frame until the party scene, and after that he kind of has his epiphany, and that's like after the climax of the film. But before that, we wanted to literally trap him in the frame. So every time we cut to him, he's already in the frame. You never see him leave or enter. And so that was one way we wanted to visually kind of, whether consciously or subconsciously, get the audience to be like, okay, we're stuck with this guy and in his head as much as possible.
Okay. And the last question from me, thank you for sharing Sean's words, and sounds like this is extremely personal to him and personal to you as a friend of his, but was it particularly challenging working with somebody who was so emotionally invested in a project? Was that daunting in any way?
Not necessarily, because we'd worked on other projects before. He starred in my thesis film, and that's how we met, 10 years prior. So the reason he brought me on as a co-director was because he was acting in it, and on the actual shoot, he didn't want to have to be worrying about, getting the framing right or running the set or anything.
I see.
So there was a lot of trust already there, and he was great about, listening to my feedback, giving his own feedback, and then the closer we got to the shoot date, the more he focused on the acting element of it. But I think the most important part about the co-directing was, just making sure we trusted each other. And for me, it wasn't making sure I got his vision. It wasn't making sure I got my vision. It was what like needs to happen to tell the story in the best way possible. It was all about the story at the end of the day.
Oh, that's great. I'll open it up to see if anybody has any questions here. Yeah, go ahead.
You said that you edited it as well?
Yeah.
How was it? What is like a co-director editing sort of relationship like? How does that work in post-production?
Well, I feel like it starts in pre-production because I storyboarded everything out, and me and Sean worked with our DP on the shot list. So, I think Herman was saying earlier something about just preparing as much as humanely possible, and so that was especially in the pre-production and in the storyboarding, like kind of editing it out before we even got to the shoot date. And then when we were shooting it, it was just kind of making sure, like, that whatever I was seeing on the monitor, I was like, okay, great. I know I have that shot now. I know how this is going to work. I can reference my storyboard, the shot list, etc. But yeah, being so involved every stage of it was really helpful because you kind of just you're building it each step of the way as you're going.
To follow up.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you managed to follow most of that, or did you have to make like compromises at all?
I don't think there was a single compromise that we made, to be honest. I think, we were very flexible. If something wasn't going right, we could shoot it later. It's not, I would say 95% of it was exactly what was in the storyboard and exactly how we kind of prepared it. So the editing element of it was just kind of almost putting the final touches on it. Like at that point, we had everything we needed. We were so prepared that we were able to get everything we needed with time to spare.
Very good. Okay, Lost, Not Forgotten. Thank you so much.